And you're on the monitor beacon. Take one.
Now, it's our opinion that the average person has very little chance to express his views on the pressing national and international problems of our time. And so, periodically, we're going to take our microphone down into the studio audience and give our guests an opportunity to speak out. Bob is down there in the audience with a hand mic now. Do you have a guest with you, Bob?
Yes, I do, Ray. I have a gentleman here who would like to express his opinion on the Bob and Ray Forum. I'll tell you first, sir, that you're not required to give your name unless you want to.
Well, I think I'd prefer to just be known as a good American.
All right. And what subject would you care to voice your views on?
Well, it's my opinion that my brother-in-law, Harvey C. Wintermute, cheats on his golf score.
Well, wait a minute. That's not quite the type of thing we wanted to get opinions on, sir. We're looking for views on national and international.
Harvey always comes in with a card of 85 to 90, somewhere in that range, and I know for a fact that he kicks his ball out of sand traps, and he doesn't count the shots he dubs.
Well, let's move over to this lady.
I know that.
All right, okay. Thanks very much. Would you care to give us your name, ma'am?
No, you can just call me a friend of the people.
All right. What pressing issue would you like to voice an opinion on today?
Well, the man who lives in the upper half of our duplex, Roscoe Goulding, beats up his wife every time he gets a load on, and I think the police should move in and stop the thing.
I think your subject is kind of like that of the gentleman we spoke to. It's not of general interest, really.
Well, I think that mean drunks are of interest to everybody, and I also think that 30 days in the workhouse would do this Goulding man a lot of good.
Okay, well, thanks for talking with us. Is there anyone else who wants to speak here on the forum?
Yes, I'd like to.
You're the same chap we spoke to a minute ago, aren't you?
Yeah, I thought of something else I'd like to say. It's my opinion that if the R&J Food Market in Jackson Heights is going to sell day-old bakery products, they ought to reduce the price.
Well, look, sir, you still don't have the idea of what we're trying to do here,
my
you see?
wife bought a pineapple upside-down cake there a week or so ago, and it was so old that even a pineapple was stale.
All right, well, I don't think we have to discuss the matter much further here.
Well, do you have these forum periods on your program every day?
No, just once in a while. Every couple of weeks, something like that.
Well, I can stop off here every day on my way home from work. I have opinions on a lot of different issues. I can become a regular feature on the program.
Well, no, I don't think so. We like to give as many different people as we can a chance to speak.
My brother prints up counterfeit tickets to radio and TV shows, so I wouldn't have any trouble getting in.
Well, we'd prefer that you stayed away, really.
I also think that my wife is getting fat and sloppy. I could talk about that next time.
Well, I think our forum period is just about over now anyway, so we're going to have Webley feature Jealousy today. That's our last 45-minute show. Don't know whether that would kind of...
I think we should let him play it, really. Although we have tried for the last 2 times to let him go through all right. I don't know what happened yesterday. I think we had some kind of...
line hum, wasn't it?
Line hum west of Denver. And something else has happened when we've given him an okay. Webb, would you come over? I tell you, why don't you go right over to the organ? I think that would be better.
Sure, it'll save time, and today...
I'll go right over there and play it. I got the music. I'm all set to go.
Good.
I've got all my friends and relatives listening in.
Wonderful, and we'll be friends again after you play this. Good.
All right. Fine. Mic on.
Webley Webster plays Jealousy. Mutual fire drill. Everybody out of the studio. Get your audience out, Bob.
Okay, audience, come on. In a call of twos, please. Everybody out.
About 3 minutes down this way. Stop the organ music there. Come on, you organist.
Okay, I'm coming.
Right out this way. You can be back in 3 minutes.
Is there a fire, or is it just one of your drills?
No, it's just a fire drill, that's all. Just to be sure we're ready in case.
Oh, gee.
Right out this way. We're taking them all out. Tell you, put a record on while we're out for the drill. We'll be back in a minute.
Bert Field speaking.
And Harry Field. Bert noticed that Western shows seem to be the most popular on television this season, so he figured if that's what you want, that's what we'd give you.
Hey, Harry, let's sashay through the swinging doors over there, shall we?
All right.
Have a couple of cool ones wet our throat. Bartender, 2 peels, please.
These people don't seem to be doing anything.
Come on your feet. What do you think we hired you for? All you extras, over that end of the bar, let's have a real fight going on. What do you think we put all those glasses in the back of the mirror for?
Heels is the beer with a barrel of flavor because it's cool brewed.
You see, we chill our beer on the way to the aging tanks. It's a little more trouble, but it's worth it.
Keep away from the school marm, you varmint.
Have you got plumb loco?
Didn't do no harm. That's one of those trick chairs, the kind that doesn't hurt.
It's not a question of hurting, it's a matter of dignity.
See how you like it, you sidewinding coyote.
That was a real piano stool, Harry.
Will you bring the audience back in, please?
Everybody back.
Okay, it was a right over here, audience. Very successful fire drill test here. Our audience is being escorted back to its seat. And Webley, again, it's a terrible apology that we have to make, or it's terrible that we have to make it. You were going so well with jealousy there, and as you know, it was all beyond our... All right, audience, will you just quiet down? It was beyond our control. I'm very sorry that it happened. Possibly on our next program, we'll be able to feature it. You're all out of breath. What's the matter?
Well, up and down the fire escape that way.
Well, you didn't have to do that. You just had to go out and stand in the...
No, the fellow made me go.
Oh, he did, huh?
We're down there. Try to get down. Well...
Okay, well, we'll be back in 5 minutes after the news over Mutual, the radio network for all America. Next, the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Olehi. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstoppert as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Today, we're back in Fielding Lovely's hideout, where he left Ricky and Uncle Eugene tied to 2 chairs. They're still trying desperately to escape. As we hear Ricky say...
Well, I think I got my right wrist loose here.
Let me turn my neck around there and see if I can see. Yes, your right wrist is loose.
It is, huh?
Uh-huh.
One of the rungs in the back of your chair just broke when you turned your
know
neck.
it. Let me see if I can back the chair up so you can untie my hands with your free left wrist.
It's my right one.
Oh, your free right wrist. Then I can untie your left wrist with my 2 hands are free.
Wait a minute.
How's that sound?
Why don't you let me just undo my left wrist so both my hands will be free? Then it will be easier to undo both your wrists at the same time.
Well, we could do that, or I could try to get my left or right wrist free, then untie your right wrist,
Yeah.
and then you could untie my right or left wrist, which was still tied. How's that sound?
That sounds like a good idea. Or, better still, you could tie up my right wrist again, and then you could start and loosen your right or left wrist, then your left or right wrist, the one that was left tied, and then
I get it. Start from scratch, in other words.
Right, and then use both your hands to undo both mine at the same time simultaneously.
That sounds good. Or, how about this?
Yes.
I loosen both my wrists, untie myself so I'm completely free, then come over and untie your right wrist, which, of course, is the only one still tied.
Oh, we forgot something. Our legs are tied, too.
That presents a problem, Ricky.
Hey, wait a minute. You smell smoke?
Yes, it's probably from those flames over there in the corner.
That's right, it is.
All that straw matting is suddenly caught on fire.
Well, I don't think we ought to talk much more about who's going to untie who.
No, I think it's better to be every man for himself. Just try to get out.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll go ahead then and try to undo my left wrist.
You got a head start. So, as the building begins to burn around them, Ricky and Uncle Eugene try desperately to untie themselves. Will they succeed? Be sure to join us tomorrow when we'll hear Ricky say,
I got all the rope. Do you want to save it?
That's in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovelay, girl intern. Word Carr speaking. Trying to pick out someone to chat with here. How about this lady right here? How about you, ma'am? Did I surprise you?
Yeah, yes, you did. I didn't know you were going to choose me. I'm Elsie Glimberg from Honolulu.
All the way from Honolulu. Nice to have you with us, Miss Glimberg. How long are you going to be here in New York?
Just about 4 hours. I'll have to be heading back out to LaGuardia just as soon as I finish here.
You mean you came all the way from Honolulu just to spend 4 hours in New York?
Yes. See, my boyfriend is an airline pilot, and he lets me ride in the back on the mail sacks.
Uh-huh.
Last week I rode out to Hong Kong with him. We took in a movie. I couldn't understand a word of it. It was in Chinese.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you have a very pleasant flight back. And how about this gentleman over here with the green Cocker Spaniel?
I'm Eddie Farbush from New York.
I think I've seen you around before. You're in the publicity business.
That's right, yeah.
What's the idea of the green Cocker Spaniel, Eddie?
Well, I painted him green. It's kind of an attention-getting gimmick.
National Pickle Week?
No, you see, this is Be Kind to Animals Week, and I'm doing the publicity for it here in this part of Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
I figured with a green dog I could get on more shows and get in my Be Kind to Animals plug.
Well, now, how can you hold yourself up as an example of being kind to animals when you take this poor dog and paint it green? That's all.
Well, look, dogs only see black and white and gray anyway. He doesn't know he's green.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he did get lead poisoning when he tried to lick his paws, but we snapped him out of that.
He seems to have kind of a surly disposition. I know. I was looking at him there. He's probably from being sick.
No, I don't. I think it's just he doesn't like you.
Oh.
The dog can spot a guy who hates animals right off, you know.
Well, I don't hate animals. I just don't like the looks of this particular one.
Better not be unkind to him there, fella. You know what week this
I'm not
is.
going to be unkind to him.
Well, don't tell me. Tell him.
All right, I'm not going to be unkind to you. Oh.
See, I told you he didn't like you.
Oh, well, he's got the calf of my leg now. Maybe I can get my other foot free and
Well,
give him a
you
little
kick him
nudge.
during Be Kind to Animals Week, and you'll be in more trouble than you
Well,
can
I'm in
handle.
more trouble than I can handle right now,
Well,
Eddie.
it's nice to have talked to you. Here's my card. Look, when he lets go of your leg, give me a call, and I'll come pick him up.
Okay, thanks a lot. Says some music. Get off. Get off. Next, the life and loves of Linda Lovelay, girl intern. Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovelay, girl intern. Written for radio by Ole Leahy. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstoppert as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. In our last episode, Linda and David, in their house in Riversmouth, looked through the dining room window to see the face of Fielding, David's long-lost black sheep brother. Now it's a moment later as they try to decide what to do. That was Fielding, all right. Know his face anywhere. That black turtleneck sweater he was wearing.
Well, why don't you just go to the door and call out his name?
Well, that might be a good way to flush him out, yes.
Hello, Dave.
Whoa. He was standing right here on the front porch.
Don't mind if I come in, do you?
Well, no.
Step back.
Come in. It's Fielding, Linda.
Oh, wonderful.
My black sheep brother. Fielding, it's been quite a while since we've met.
Any money?
What's that?
Money.
Well, no, I don't have any money. Sit down. We were wondering where Uncle Eugene and Ricky Llewellyn are. You wouldn't
You have any
know.
money, Dave? I'm here for money.
You mean blackmail money?
No, just plain money. I mean, if you don't give it to me, I'll hit you.
Well, I don't have any money, Fielding.
Well, I'm going to hit you, like I said.
Well, I see you did, but...
Come on, Dave. I don't have too much time. Eddie's outside revving up the car. Hey, incidentally, who are them two idiots you sent over to haunt me?
Oh, then you have seen Uncle Eugene and Ricky.
Yeah, they're tied up to a chair. We left them on the main route. Not on the road, on the side.
Oh, well, we'll go out and bring them back in.
Yeah, you better do that. Looks like it's going to start raining pretty soon.
So David and Linda find out where Ricky and Uncle Eugene are anyway, but how much money does Fielding demand? Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Fielding say,
I want every peanut butter sandwich the uncle ever made.
That's in the next exciting episode, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Word Carr speaking. We'll take the audience today just to kind of have a little fun with the people while they sit here and hear the music. Find the guest who has been most recently released from prison. And I see that Wilbur Conley, the young squirt who works for us, has brought a lady up on our stage. Are you the winner, man?
Yes, I am. I got out of the pokey this morning.
See, well, could we have your name, please?
Yes. I'm Mrs. Cornelia Shotweather.
You've caught us kind of by surprise here, Miss Shotweather, because we'd assumed that the guest most recently released from prison would be a man.
Well, I can't help it what you assumed. I just got out this morning. The only guest who even came close to me was a fellow who'd been out of stir for almost a week, sitting over there.
Mm-hmm. Hello there, sir. Did you do your time here in New York, Mrs.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm speaking to Mrs. Shotweather.
No. I was in the reformatory in Delaware. When they sprung me, I headed for the big town, but quick.
Well, apparently, we just got here this morning. Do you have any objection to telling us what you were in prison for?
Well, it was a pickpocket rap.
Well, you're a lady pickpocket, are you?
Yes, I go in for ladies' purses mostly. I ease up beside them and then lift the wallets out of their pocketbook.
The only thing I can't understand is why you came right up here to watch our program if you've only been out of prison for a matter of hours. Did you listen to us while you were in the pen?
No, some of the other girls did, and they said they thought your studio audience was made up mostly of real pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like it would be a good place for me to start back to work again.
Oh, you're picking pockets here in the studio audience, are you, today?
Yes, I've netted about 75 or 80 bucks already, and I should be able to pull another job or two as the audience files out after the show.
Well, we wish you the very best of good fortune, Miss Shotweather, and congratulations on winning our contest.
Hey, wait a minute. You got a
Yes,
sign
sir.
up out front saying that today's contest is going to be for the person with the lowest forehead.
Oh, no, that's an old sign out there. Our search for the most recently released convict is the only one we plan to have today.
Well, I took time off from my job just to be here. What kind of a badger game is it?
Well, I'm sorry if we've caused you any inconvenience, sir.
Oh, my eyebrows merge right into my hairline. I don't have any forehead at all. I would have won for sure.
Well, I guess you would. I'm sorry you're so upset. It was just a misunderstanding. We'll take the old sign down.
He'll be even more upset when he finds out his wallet's gone.
Well, that's between you two folks. I want to get involved here. Thank you both very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, he says. Big deal.
Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Olehi. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstoppert as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Today, we're back in Fielding Lovely's hideout, where he demanded all of Uncle Eugene's peanut butter sandwiches that he had made, and which were being kept in the lovely house in River's Mouth. Now, it's a few moments later as he has them nearly packed up and is ready to leave.
You're about ready to leave now,
Wait a
huh?
minute, here's another one, Fielding. This one I made back in July 1956.
I noticed that you took the crusts off some of these wise guys.
Well, I have different times when I think I like them better with crusts, and sometimes when I like them better without crusts.
Why?
Sure hate to see them go.
Answer my question, Uncle.
What?
Why some of these with crust, some without?
Well, it's just
I want an
a
answer now.
passing fancy, Fielding. I think it's very easily explained, Fielding.
Eddie,
Yeah, Fielding.
I think we might have to work the uncle over, find out why he does this.
All right.
Now,
Well, I don't see
before
why you
Eddie
need to
goes
do
to
that.
work on you, Uncle, why don't you tell us the truth?
Well, just as I said, Fielding, sometimes I like them with crust, sometimes without crust. Usually in the warm
Okay,
months,
Eddie.
I like them without the crust. Oh! Well, I don't know why you needed to do that, Fielding. After
What are you
all,
hitting the old duffer for?
he's turned over all of his sandwiches to you, and you have
What
the money.
difference does
Now
it
you
make
can
whether
leave.
they have crust on them or they don't have crust?
That's right.
Oh!
And you have your money, you can leave now. Oh.
Well, I think this is terrible.
Okay, Eddie, I guess that just about does it.
All right. We got them all in the car, Fielding.
Let's see. What else can we take?
Well, you only said you wanted the money and the peanut butter sandwiches.
Your
Fielding.
wristwatch. To keep good time, Davy.
Well, fairly
Let's have
good,
it.
yeah. All right, there you are. But I don't think this is sporting of you in any sense of the word.
You there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, do you have that watch fob?
How about these cufflinks, Fielding? Would you like these cufflinks somewhere? Oh.
I tell
Fielding,
you,
don't wear cufflinks, Uncle Eugene.
Sissy wears cufflinks.
Well, now that you've got everything you wanted, will you leave River's Mouth?
You're really going to take my watch fob?
So Fielding and Eddie apparently are set to leave River's Mouth. But will they take Ricky Llewellyn's watch fob? Be sure and listen tomorrow when we'll hear Linda say,
Yes, he really did take your watch fob.
that's in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Word Carr speaking.
Now back to greatest filibusters of the century.
He's fresh, clean-shaven, looking much younger than his 63 years. His voice is strong as a hush falls over the other members of the Senate, and he begins his filibuster.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my plan to stand up here and talk till I've talked down the proposal before this House, which would put the wheels in motion to have my dear, beloved Everglades filled in.
It takes the senator about 5 hours to read his prepared statement opposing the plan to fill in the Everglades. And from now on, it's up to his oratorical ingenuity if he's to keep the floor. He knows full well that if he should stop for 10 seconds, the proposal very well might be passed. Second day. Senator Culpepper has talked for 32 hours straight now and shows no sign of stopping. It's an exceptionally warm day here in the Senate chamber at Tallahassee. Beads of perspiration stand out on the venerable politician's forehead.
After Hannibal crossed the Alps in 218 B.C., the Romans held possession of Gaul until 428 A.D., when the Franks, the Germanic people, expelled them as a governing class and began the gradual establishment of the Kingdom of France, which I should point out then included Belgium, the Rhine Valley, to the sea, as well as much of Germany.
Right now, the senator is up to page 606 of this year's World Almanac, and still he shows no signs of weakening. As yet, he still hasn't hit the floor once. So it goes through the third, fourth, and fifth days. Sixth day, only a small handful of Senate members are present today, as Culpepper obviously is showing signs of weakening. Can he stand up through this grueling contest? Will his voice hold out?
The first man says, I saw you driving the wrong way up a one-way street. The driver says, what do you mean? I was only going one way. College professor. All right, students. If I cross an elephant with a mouse, what would I get? College sophomore. A mouse that never forgets.
The next 3 days are sheer agony for Culpepper, as well as the other members of the Senate group. He's gone through punch and judge. What can he think of next? We'll continue with the thrilling climax of tonight's greatest filibuster of the century right after a word for Prentice Products from Anna Mary Prentice.
Oh, hello. I'm Anna Mary Prentice, owner and majority stockholder of Prentice Products Company. Girls, I'm here to show you how to apply my new Anna Mary Prentice eyeshadow for bewitching, glamorous, mysterious eyes. Eyes that invite romance. It's as simple as this. You just take a tiny bit on the end of your finger and apply it just under the lower lid, from the outside toward your nose. Then wipe off the excess on a cleansing tissue, and that's all there is to it. You see, the secret of Prentice eyeshadow is my formula X33, the same secret formula found in Prentice eyeshadow for babies, so you know it's safe.
It's the 14th day now here at Tallahassee, Florida. Senator Culpepper has all but lost his voice and is tottering. The experts at lobby side are saying the odds right now are 100 to 1 he won't last this day. But can he keep going on sheer oratorical instinct alone? Here's the answer. Listen closely. Coming up now is the moment that is to rock all filibuster dome.
Queen Elizabeth, Great Britain, 83,673 tons. Conte Vincamano, Italy, 23,255.
He's faltering now, and in one step, the Speaker of the Senate is at the senator's side. 2, 3, 4, 5.
The senator tries to get up. The will, the spirit are there, but the body just can't seem to respond. He just doesn't seem to hear the speaker.
8, 9, 10. And he's out. So after 14 days, 3 hours and 10 minutes, Senator Culpeper relinquishes the floor. It's his last filibuster, but thanks to his efforts, the Everglades were saved. They were not filled in, and to this day are a scenic delight to tourists.
And so ends another great filibuster of the century, presented every week after our fights. We have lots of fights here. 9:30 is the time. This is the Bob and Ray Show on records from the Smile on the Dial Spot. Radio wins WINS, New York, 1010 on your dial.
Now, here
are the sandwiches of the Ames brothers.
Yes, that's right. 4 sandwiches all wrapped in aluminum foil, and it would appear they are all the same.
Yes, they're all white bread.
All peanut butter and strawberry jam.
Peanut butter and strawberry jam sandwiches on white bread with crusts, unsliced, uncut in half, for the Ames brothers.
Soggy looking generally in appearance. That is the sandwich, then, of the 4 Ames brothers. And now, as the members get up to dance, we return you to Bob and Ray somewhere in New York.
That's kind of a new idea. They're opening more than... well, I suppose they consider that opening one, huh?
Sure they do.
Well, I suppose they consider that opening one, huh?
Sure they do.
Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Olehi. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Yesterday, we left Ricky and Uncle Eugene in Fielding Lovely's hideout on the outskirts of River's Mouth after they had knocked the telephone receiver off its hook and were trying to appeal for help. Now, it's a few seconds later as we hear...
Hey, let me see if I can bend over and talk into the phone. Hello?
There are you, that it is me.
Hello? Hello?
Call, please.
Tell the operator we're being held by
Dial that
Field...
number on your telephone.
I'm not...
You're welcome.
Operator?
Your call, please.
Operator, we're tied to a couple of...
Pound 61948.
Tell her we're being held by
please.
Fielding Lovely. We're tied up.
Wait just a moment. Operator?
Hello?
Yes. Operator, we're being tied...
Long distance.
Long
You
distance.
wish to place the
We
call,
don't want
please.
long distance. We want to
Your
just get
number,
the police
please.
for
Oh,
it.
well, our number here is...
Thank you. Whom do you wish to call, please?
Well, we'd like to call Dave Lovely.
Oklahoma City.
Either that or Mayor Full Bottle. Anybody can send help out to us.
Speak with anyone at that number.
Speak with anyone at that number.
Then you wish this to be a station-to-station call.
Please, yes, anything.
Thank you.
You're
One
welcome.
moment, please.
What's she doing?
One moment, please.
Yes.
Oh.
What is the route to Oklahoma City,
Might be
please?
easier to
What's
send
the-
a telegram in
Wait a
this
minute.
case.
What's the route to Oklahoma City?
I don't know what the route is. You go
St.
turn
Louis,
left out of
please.
River's Mouth,
The
I know
wires
that.
to St. Louis are busy, operator. Let me have Kansas City then. Kansas City operator speaking.
The Kansas
New
City
York
operator
is calling
speaking.
Oklahoma City, please.
Oklahoma City.
Ask her from
One
Western
moment.
Union. Send a telegram.
Oklahoma City.
So our friends still have no further help in getting out of the clutches of Fielding and Eddie. What are they doing in the meantime? Be sure and listen tomorrow, and we'll hear Linda say,
I wonder where they are.
That's in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Word Carr speaking.
Hey, don't forget today, Friday, the 31st of May, is the last day to mail your letter to our Mr. and Mrs. Vacation contest here at Mutual. If you haven't gotten around to it, you better write that letter before it's too late. Just tell her in 50 words or less why my husband or wife and I need a vacation. Now, the winners will fly to Miami and return on Northeast DC-6B Skylark. Yes, Northeast, the only airline which takes brand new planes direct from the assembly line and puts them into elegant magic slipper coach service. In Miami, the winners will be whisked away to the Americana and never heard from again. No, they won't. They're going to have a wonderful vacation
My husband and wife.
at the Hotel of the Americas at Bal Harbor, Miami Beach. This oceanfront Americana hotel in a 10-acre setting of Floridian splendor will be the headquarters for our Mr. and Mrs. Vacation winners.
Who put that in it?
And there you'll enjoy the ultimate in taste, for the Americana combines the charm, the atmosphere, the best of all the Americas. So sit right down and write that letter telling why Mr. and Mrs. You need a vacation, and mail it to Vacation Contest Box 33, Mutual Broadcasting System, 1440 Broadway, New York 18. Entries will be judged on the basis of neatness, originality, and aptness of thought. The contest closes May 31st. That's tonight at midnight. And entries have to be postmarked before that time and so forth tonight. Judge's decision is final. In the event of tie, duplicate awards will be made. And hold everything. Listen to what's in store for the runners-up.
For the runners-up, it is here someplace. We'll send, that is 22.
22, huh?
20.
Oh.
I mean, 20, T-O-O.
Oh.
We will send a Lamont perfume-locked atomizer by Coty. And Coty's new perfumed curl set hairspray perfumes every ringlet with famous Lamont by Coty. There it is, man. Go right after it. Now it's time for our weekly shortwave radio contact with the Wallaby twins. Now, as the entire nation knows, the Wallabies are trying to make the first round-the-world voyage in history by rowboat. And their goal is now in sight. Last week, they reported in from Brazil, and by today, they should be somewhere up in the West Indies. Wouldn't you say so, Vaughn?
Well, with favorable trade winds, they might even have made it to Florida. We'll know for sure in a minute. I'm trying to reach them on the shortwave set now. This is Bob and Ray at NBC New York calling the rowboat Elizabeth Louise. Come in, Ed and Montmorency Wallaby. This is Bob and Ray, New York, calling the rowboat Elizabeth Louise. Come in, Ed and Montmorency Wallaby.
Hello, 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 hello. This is your old friend Ed Wallaby speaking directly from the beautiful Cabana Club of the luxurious Sandy Point Hotel in Miami Beach, Florida.
Well, it's nice to know you made it clear to Florida. Must have had a good tailwind, Ed.
This is Montmorency. Yes, we arrived here on Thursday afternoon, and we've been treated as guests of the management here at the palatial Sandy Point Hotel.
Well, you should be guests of the management. You've gotten in 2 plugs to the hotel already.
Well, we've agreed to mention the place 4 times during this broadcast, Bob, and I might insert the 3rd plug right here by saying that the Sandy Point Hotel is fireproofed by a modern sprinkler system.
Look, fellas, our audience is interested in hearing about your trip, not about the hotel where you're staying. What kind of a voyage did you have up from South America?
We had a very pleasant cruise, Bobby. Our food rations ran a little short, but we've been making up for lost time since we got here, thanks to the delicious home-style meals being sent over free of charge from Ethel's Cafeteria on Collins Avenue. Ethel offers full-course meals for as little as $1.25.
Well, now, about the trip itself, Montmorency.
This is Ed. I might also mention that we have a fresh bouquet of flowers in our room every day through the courtesy of the Sunshine Coast Florists Association. Remember, for the one you love, say it with flowers.
Look, Ed, the Bob and Ray organization here in New York City is sponsoring your trip, and I don't see why we have to get all these free plugs in
This is
way.
Montmorency. We just can't overlook the fact that we've been treated so well here in beautiful Miami Beach. In fact, the management of the gorgeous Sandy Point Hotel wants us to stay over and do our broadcast from here again next week.
Well, that's just out of the question. I want you fellas to get in that rowboat and start home. You're supposed to be racing against time on this
And
voyage.
accurate time is just what we'll have with the lovely 17-jewel wristwatches presented to us by Hogan's Jewelry Store on Lincoln Road. Make Hogan's your gift headquarters all year round.
I can see we aren't going to get any more information from you about this trip, so I think we better sign off.
We'd also like to thank the South Florida Fig Institute for the basket of Fig Newtons we received this morning.
This is NBC in New York saying over
Thanks
and out.
also to the Greater Miami Praline Association.
That brings us to a close. Another report from the Wallaby Twins. Be sure to be with us again next week when we have a similar interesting and educational chat with the Wallabies as they complete their round-the-world voyage by rowboat. Jack Headstrong.
Jack Headstrong.
Jack Headstrong.
Jack Headstrong.
Jack Headstrong.
Jack Headstrong, all-American American.
Now it's time again, boys and girls, for Jack Headstrong, all-American American, and of his search for wicked J. Montgomery Sting with the help of Uncle Jim and Billy. Last week, Jack and Uncle Jim, a horseback, discovered that J. Montgomery Sting had kidnapped Betty, along with the plans for Jack's newest invention, the atomic fertilizer spreader, and had taken off in Jack's plane. Now, as they return to Jack's factory in Hudson...
Come here, Uncle Jim.
What is it, Jack?
Well, get down off the horse first.
Oh, Jack.
Quiet, Billy. There's no time for that.
Quiet, Billy. Go ahead, Jack.
Quiet, Uncle Jim. There's no time for that.
Wait till I tie up the nag here, Jack.
Quiet, Uncle Jim. Let's get down off the horse.
Sure cold here in the factory, Jack.
Just what I was afraid of, Uncle Jim.
What's that, Jack?
Quiet, Billy.
Quiet,
There's
Billy.
no time for that.
Go
Quiet,
play
Uncle
with-
Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
Quiet.
I'll play with my tricycle.
Quiet, Billy. There's no time for that now.
What do you see, Jack, that makes you look askance?
My desk has been pried open. My notes that I used when I formulated the atomic fertilizer spreader are gone. Or at least have been rummaged through.
Strange it should be pried open. It wasn't locked, Jack. I remember distinctly you unlocked it before
Quiet,
we left.
Uncle Jim. There's no time for that
All
now.
right, Jack. I'm older than you, but you have all the brains.
Thank you, Uncle Jim. And quiet.
Jack, I wanted to tell
Quiet,
you...
Billy, please.
Quiet,
There's
Billy.
no time. Quiet,
Jack's
Uncle
planning.
Jim.
Oh.
There's no time for this. Now I have a plan. I'm going to disguise myself as you, Uncle Jim, and I'm going to the county seat.
You're going to disguise yourself as me, Jack, but...
Quiet, Uncle Jim. There's no time for
Why don't
explanations
you let
now.
Uncle Jim go by himself?
Quiet, Billy.
He's been there before, by
What?
himself.
Quiet, Billy.
Quiet, Billy.
Quiet, Uncle
Jack's
Jim.
plan. Go ahead, Jack.
Quiet. I'm going to the city disguised as you. I'll say that I am you. You, meanwhile, Uncle Jim, will disguise yourself as me. And you will mosey around the plant here. We could really confuse J. Montgomery Sting.
That's a wonderful
Quiet,
idea.
Billy. There's no time for that now.
So the miraculous brain of Jack Headstrong comes up with an idea to really confuse J. Montgomery Sting. And at the county seat next week, we'll hear Jack say,
Quiet, Sheriff. There's no time for that now.
in the next episode of Jack Headstrong, All-American American.
Okay, thank you, Wally, for another wonderful report from on the scene.
Always trying to let you in on something you may not have known about. I didn't
You know
know
what?
there was any record like that.
You can carry the fun with you with a Columbia Stereophonic high-fidelity portable phonograph. And I'm looking at you there, audience, and that is exactly what I mean. Now, they have a selection of 7 new portables in smart color combinations. I don't think... Do you have a sample book, Bob, of the color combinations there? That we could,
I left the swatches back in the office.
Right. Well, I tell you what you do. You go into the Columbia dealer, and he'll be delighted to spend hours with you going over the color combinations of the new portables. And there's more quality and more features and more styling built into these new Columbia portables than ever before. But now, here's my announcer, Bob.
Well, I think you've said just about everything.
No,
How far
I
did
just
you get?
said down through C.
Oh, I have to
On
go
the
through
fact
D,
sheet,
E,
yes.
F, G, and H.
Right.
Well, you get big console sound reproduced by Columbia Stereophonic high-fidelity phonographs. and you'll thrill to excitement of Stereo 1 by Columbia, #1 in the world of sound. Columbia portables start at only $24.95.
Don't be sleeping.
See them all at your Columbia dealer today.
I never saw Wallace do that before.
And now, the makers of Grime, the magic shortening that spreads like lard, invite you to join us for another episode of The Gathering Dusk. As we look in on the Bessinger household today, Edna is still bedridden. It's late afternoon, and Mr. Gilmore, the principal of the village high school, is just entering her room.
Oh, high school principal Gilmore, it was good of you to come over so quickly.
Well, I try to be punctual in everything I do, Edna.
Yes, I can remember when I was going to high school and you were teaching Latin there. You always used to start the classes right on the stroke of the hour.
Well, I think I did that because your father was superintendent of schools at the time, and I figured that with you in the class, word of my punctuality might get back to him.
Well, that's right, and Daddy was superintendent then, wasn't he? I'd forgotten about that.
How they happen to make an old nut like that superintendent of schools is completely beyond me.
Well, I wouldn't call Daddy an old nut. We all have our little quirks and eccentricities.
Well, as I recall, one of your father's little quirks was to drive that Pierce Arrow of his up the front steps of the high school once or twice a week.
Oh, well, he was just drunk when he did that. You're certainly not going to hold a man responsible for what he does when he's lit up.
Well, he couldn't have been drunk that year he read the high school commencement speech in Chinese.
Well, no, he just picked up the wrong paper off the dining room table when he was on his way to the auditorium. He left his speech lying there and grabbed a laundry ticket by mistake.
Well, you'll have to admit that only a nut would stand up there on the platform reading the laundry ticket and not knowing the difference.
Well, I suppose Daddy was a little bit of an oddball.
Certainly was. But I assume you didn't call me over here to talk about your father, Edna.
No, I didn't, High School Principal Gilmore. I called you to help me get rid of those two young ruffians who were playing out in my front yard. I keep telling them to leave, but they won't do it. I suppose I could have called the police, but I thought that in your position of authority, maybe you could command enough respect to get them to go.
Are you referring to those two youngsters in the red sweaters right underneath the window there?
I certainly am, and they're such a mean-looking pair. They really have me all upset.
But Edna, those are your own children.
Are you sure?
Certainly, those are the twins. No wonder they won't go away. They live here.
Well, I thought there was something familiar about them, but I just couldn't place them. Well, you've really taken a tremendous load off my mind, High School Principal Gilmore. I almost feel as if I'm no longer standing in the gathering dusk.
Ladies, nobody likes a shortening that's filled with little pieces of asphalt and other paving material. That's why you'll go for Grime, the magic shortening that spreads like lard. Try some today, and be sure to join us next time when Edna goes to the village in The Gathering Dusk.
There, that's it.
Well,
You like it, everybody?
Well,
Yeah, I think...
you know, that in a great many stations, this news just concluded. It's been on for the last 5 minutes. I know you've been playing for 5 minutes, but no one's heard it except we in the studio.
It didn't go out on the radio?
No. It was a beautiful rendition, too. I don't think you've ever played it better, but unfortunately it fell on lost ears.
Well, I guess that's jinxed, I think.
I guess you're running into trouble, but as I said, maybe next week we can...
Let's forget
it.
You heard the little tiny end of it anyway. That's very effective.
Yeah, we never heard. Could you play that again? Just that couple of ending notes there. That was good, the way you kind of tagged it off there.
Oh, maybe it'd be best if I just bang down on the note this way. All right.
Good.
Thank you.
A real good arrangement. Did you make the arrangement yourself?
No, sir. I don't know. I got it over at Cresby's.
Mm-hmm. Well, that concludes that part of the show. Now, I guess it's gift time for our audience, isn't it? As we look over the prize table and see who's going to draw the lucky card, which will award them a prize.
Okay. All right. Well, enough of that now. Okay.
We heard it. Audience, would you get out your tickets that you came in with and look at the number there? Got the big barrel here with all of the duplicate numbers, a number for every ticket in the audience.
I didn't know I was supposed to keep those crazy tickets.
Well, they had a number, each one had a number
but
on
I
it,
just
sir.
threw mine down on the floor when I came in. I said to my wife, this is nothing.
Well, can you find it? Is that it over there under that chair, that empty chair there?
Wait a minute. Oh, gee, I ripped my suit.
Oh, that's too bad. No, that wasn't the ticket, was it?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know what could have happened to that, but right now we're rolling the big barrel around. And let's reach in and...
grease or oil in that barrel wouldn't hurt at all.
Doesn't work very smoothly. We'll see who the lucky audience member is. Today, here is the number. It is 2677326410. Does anyone have this number? 3267.
I was going to say, would you repeat that number, please? Because
yes.
A lot of them...
They're not quite sure. I'll repeat it for you. 326711687110.
Hey, wait a minute. That wasn't the number you yelled before.
I'm reading it right off here.
Okay, repeat it once more, please.
3267768710.
Oh, no, it isn't.
I think that's your number, isn't it, Ray?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 317-682-948220?
Yeah. Well, now, what do you want to take from the prize table there, Ray?
Yeah, let me see.
This, unfortunately,
I guess
worked out this way.
I guess maybe a pound of confectioner's sugar.
Okay, Ray selects a pound of confectioner's sugar from our prize table. And better luck to you audience members next time. And did you find your ticket stub, sir?
No, but I got my foot caught in one of those folding chairs, and there's a fat lady sitting on it, and she won't move.
Well, madam, wouldn't you move for that gentleman?
I'll move when the show is over. I
Well,
didn't ask him to put his foot in the folding chair, the lummox.
Well, I know, but he could hurt himself.
I ain't no lummox, lady, but you are.
Yeah, he's right, lady, you are.
You off the chair than on.
He is very right.
Wise-o, aren't you? Ow! Oh. Boy, when I get my foot out of here, lady, you're going to hear from me.
Got a mean wallop there, hasn't she?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, better luck next time, and here's some music.
Here is the moment we've been waiting for when we return to our good friends Claude and Clyde, the genial hosts at the Bob and Ray newly refurbished Gourmet Club crosstown. Come in, Claude and Clyde.
When I see the horse I bet on at the $2 window playing another horse...
Hello, everybody.
I'm through.
We are speaking to you
Jockey
from
started to hit
the
the horse
Bob and Ray
before he
Gourmet
hit it, but
Club
nobody
here in
got it.
Midtown Manhattan. In just
Incidentally,
a
all
few
you married
moments,
men who want
the
to get your
sandwich
wife a
of a
little
famous
crazy,
guest will be opened here in public and described to those here present, and also those of you who are listening in on the wireless this afternoon.
I might mention, Claude, that burst of applause you're hearing is for Henny Youngman, who's just completed his nightclub routine for the folks gathered here today.
Looking about the room, we notice famous celebrities, Mickey Rooney sitting at a table. Also, I notice at the same table, Roberta Sherwood and Roberta Peters.
And Roberta Quinlan just entered the rear of the hall.
And Ed Sullivan is at the same table.
It might be noted, too, that as soon as we leave the air, all of the guests assembled here today have been invited out to see a Nat Pendleton movie.
They'll all leave the Gourmet Club and cross town to a theater where a Nat Pendleton movie is currently showing.
Now I see the doors at the rear of the hall are being thrown open. The pages with their trumpets raised on high are about to signify the sandwich arrival.
And now the guide is coming down the center aisle here, carrying the sandwich atop a pillow with purple fringe.
Our lovely assistant, Elaine, is handing up the sealed envelope which bears the name of the owner of the sandwich. Thank you, Elaine. Let me tear open the envelope. to discover whose sandwich. It is the Eric Severide and the News sandwich.
And it would appear that the sandwich is rye bread with the caraway seeds. They have been untouched. There's a generous spreading of butter. And it would appear to be small red peppers. And it would appear also that there is some Scandinavian meatballs there.
I think garnished with anchovies, Claude, would be more correct.
There is the sandwich, then, of Eric Severide and the News.
And our congratulations to you, sir, and thanks for playing our radio game Sandwich Surprise. Now the entertainment is about to begin. Again, the dancing has started as we take our leave once again of the Bob and Ray Gourmet Club. Until next time, then, goodbye.
Next, the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Written for radio by Ole Oleahy. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Yesterday, David decided to drive to the police station to see if they'd had any word of Calvin, Ricky, and Uncle Eugene, and of Fielding and Eddie. Now, as they mount the steps of the police headquarters in River's Mouth, David turns to Linda, who turns to him and says,
"What floor is the chief on?"
"I think on the main floor. Just a few more steps. I hope they've heard from Uncle Eugene, and... Well, what are you stopping for, my dear?"
"I just thought I saw somebody in back of that azalea bush."
"No, there's no one there. Oh, wait. Yes, I saw it move."
"It's a shadow of some kind."
"It's the shadow of a man who looks a great deal like my black sheep brother Fielding."
"I was afraid of that."
"And his cohort Eddie."
"Let's hurry into the police station."
"Yeah."
Okay, right over here. Let's get your prints.
"Right.
Right
You
hand
first.
We have your thumb.
There you are."
All right, down the ink pad. Okay, over here on the thumb. Next finger. Next finger. Next finger. Next finger. And let's have the sixth one there.
There you are. Now, could we see the chief, please?"
Who?
"The chief of police."
Wait a minute, I want to get your mug shots.
Well,
Smile.
it seems like a...
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Good. Okay, go on in and see the chief.
Right. Wonder what all that was about.
"I don't have any idea. It looked to me like you were booked."
"Oh, Chief Fullbottle."
Hi. What do you want?
"Well, we're here to find out if you have any information about my black sheep brother Fielding, our next-door neighbor Ricky Llewellyn, and our Uncle Eugene."
No, but my brother the mayor said that you better find him and tell him to get out of town.
Well, that's what Uncle Eugene and Ricky went to his hideout for, to tell him to leave. But we haven't heard anything all day.
Well, why don't I put out an 8-state alarm for them? Now, what 8 states would you like?
Okay. Well, let's start with Indiana.
Okay.
How about Arizona?
All right.
Louisiana's a good one.
Wait a minute. Let me check that out. Okay.
Down in the south there.
Yeah. All right. Louisiana.
Let's swing up to the eastern seaboard and try one in Delaware.
Okay.
And on up into the New England states and New Hampshire.
All right, New Hampshire. That's about 8.
And so, David and Linda receive full cooperation from Police Chief Fullbottle. Be sure and listen tomorrow when we'll hear Linda say,
"Still no word."
That's in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Word Carr speaking.
Well, let's form into a column of twos now so as to make the neatest exit from the studio. And that goes for the audience, too.
Audience, you follow us, will you please? We'll march,
Okay, column of twos, everybody.
we'll march ourselves right down to the elevators, huh?
Okay, I think that'll be a very, very nice way to do it.
Webley, you all set?
I'm all set. You're going to start off with the left foot?
Yes, that would be the best way to do
All
it.
right.
We'll see you folks all tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Until then, this is Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get work.
Bob Elliott reminding you to hang by your thumbs.
What?